got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he stopped immediately there. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with a tackle.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3.
They'll try to throw now. Winston. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
Jameis to throw it. And he finds a man with a crossing route. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, the game underneath stuff, you got to go and make the tackle right away.
These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game showing up here in the first half.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Bell running on 1st down, but he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Crunch. Recon, 132 fighter.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
6-6, pull it high.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they were in field goal range last time out but couldn't connect.
It's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. On 2nd down, Eckler. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On play action, Winston. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Quinnen Williams just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there.
Ready? Black 25. You ain't doing nothing. Wait.
3rd and long for Winston. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Switch gears.
On 2nd down now, it's Bowers. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. first down. Winston. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown on what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Switch.
3rd and short yardage. Winston. On the screen, this is Eckler. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Jameis now on first down. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Ready? Watch 25. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Throwing. Winston. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Watch twins.
On 3rd down, Winston. And that will be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run.
Hey, alert 3.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. And the Dolphins beef up the secondary here as they look to stop him on 3rd down.
You got to go.
And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's J.K. Scott now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. Now, not a great one there. Out of bounds in the air. And the offense is going to be set up already in enemy territory inside the 45. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we thought this game had the potential to be tight. Maybe not this tight, scoreless as we start the third quarter.
And I love the way you use the word tight. I'm going to take it a little bit different direction here because it's not just tight on the scoreboard. I think both offenses have been tight in how they've played this game. No one's been loose. No one's been free. They've got to find a way to make some plays, and I don't think you do it if you're really tight in everything that you're doing in the game.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Give him 7 on the play, and just like that, it's third down.
Ready. Black, do that. White. Slam. Check. Hey, 550.
They'll run with Fournette, and he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. An effective 7-yard third down conversion.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Check 99. Check 99.
This is Fournette. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Throwing on second down, Winston. And he's got his man on the out route. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you that. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A big play there. 47 yards as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, these two teams battled through a scoreless first half. Finally, a breakthrough here in quarter number 3.
And I just wonder how that played for both of them psychologically, because when you battle through a scoreless first half, now you know that every possession is increasingly crucial. Who can put points on the board, make the other team chase? Wonder if you get a lift and if they get deflated a little bit.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
61, match box, right.
At the 23-yard line.
Red 80. Mike 55, Hey, eat.
Now Darnold. Looking deep downfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll run it again with Fournette. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And down to the 19-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. From 19 yards away. And thanks to the interception, the Dolphins offense cashes in with 6.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 to score as they regroup with 1st and 10. On first down, Bowers. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Bowers. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Bell. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
He's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 7.
218, chop.
2nd and 3. At the 39-yard line.
They'll go again with Bell. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Outside. 44's the mic. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
Now a give, right side. Bowers. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Check, 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 check. Motion.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Bowers. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Jerome Baker there on the tackle.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, check right, check right. Hey, seam 6, seam 6.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he's got some space here. Past the 20. A big gain there on third and long.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out.
Check nine, check nine. Kill. Come on. Sunday. Quick dash. Go. Easy. I got him. That's me.
They'll start the drive with Drake. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Now Winston. He'll get this to Eckler. Not able to go anywhere that time. Second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Jameis again. He's going to wind up and air it out. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
After the interception, here's Darnold. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Darnold now to throw. Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 21 yards. Darnold now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Darnold from the gun. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Watch the run. Rotate.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Walker. That's caught. It's Malone. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now it's Darnold toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Back to the air, Darnold on 2nd down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
I'm letting you know right now, you better break.
And here we go on 4th. Darnold. And it's caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
Sit down. Check this down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys are back within a single score. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
No room to be had there on the 1st down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, stop. Let's go. Rush in. Green, triple team. Shit. Hey, stop.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Jordan Willis in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. He'll look to throw. Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's fourth down. Well, they snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And as a result, their playoff run may end right here. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the run, it's Fournette. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
One more extra point attempt for good measure. It's up and it's good as they tack on one more to what's going to be a very satisfying victory. Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive. Everyone's gunning for the Super Bowl. That's the ultimate. But you have to get there in incremental steps. One win today gets them one step closer.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.